All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel. So I'm back out in the garage here. So what I got to do today is we got some snow and some cold weather. So well, it's all good. I got my little tractor started. It's out in the shed there running. It's about ready to go. So what I got to do is I got to get that car body in here, get it on the lift, and we're going to set it on this car because I got to make a few measurements to decide a few things. And we'll lift the car body off, do the things I got to do. And then we can get ready to put that body on there. So, but first things first, got to roll this baby here, this frame outside. I don't know how easy that's going to go. I'll have to get Barbie to help me probably, but we'll roll that baby out. We'll get this car body in here, and we'll get it on this frame. Got to decide where I want the brake master cylinder. And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I got to weld a few things to the inside of the firewall to put the wiring harness and ECU and stuff. Just stuff to keep the firewall clean. So I'll probably weld a few things inside, clean that firewall up, get it painted, decide where I want everything, and then we're ready to rock. And we'll get that baby put together. So anyways, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna whip my little tractor around here with that car. We'll do the old swap-a-roo. We'll be at it here. Okay, everyone, you can see we got this baby in here. I did get the body kind of on. I'll lower it down here so we can see what it looks like. But, well, we already seen what it looks like, but now the frame is shiny, so that's the only difference. But I'll show you what I got to do. And then I think I have to take, well, I'll have to take the body off one more time before I put it on for good. Okay, so the reason I got, well, I'll go get it, but the reason I have to put it on is because I want to make sure, I got to put a brake master cylinder somewhere here, and I just wanted to make sure it doesn't hit the inner fender and the engine. I am going with that, my little green truck, I put full manual brakes. There's no power brakes. I got the big Willwood. I thought, in my mind, I thought race cars don't have power brakes. So why should that old truck? So I'm gonna, and I really like it. I'm really happy with it. The pedal's nice and firm. It's kind of a hard pedal, but they grab good. So I'm gonna do the same with this. So I got that. I think I showed you guys way back when we ordered some parts for this car. So we got to get that baby mounted here somewhere where it looks good and just doesn't hit anything. So I'll get the brake cylinder. All right. So this is it. So it's actually nice and tidy. So I can put that anywhere I want. I'm sure there'll be good. That'll clear the engine real good. I just have to make sure that my little inner fender thing is good. But anyways, yeah, that'll be perfect. Nice and tidy. And that's the answer. Okay, so I went ahead and kind of just put my core support temporarily and mocked up my little pieces here just to show you guys what I meant. So I just wanted to make sure I cleared it all. And turns out it's going to be a-okay. Got lots of room. I can put it anywhere I want, up to this edge and no higher than this hole, which I don't want anyways. So yeah, so this baby will be somewhere right there. I'll just do it, like I said, I'll just do whatever works good with the pedal. I do have to make a pedal mount, and depends on how high it goes. Like I said, this will just, whatever works good with the pedal to get your leverage for the full stroke of it, and what works good with the pedal to be on the left, kind of the left side of the steer column for braking. But anyways, should be good. Okay, so what I've decided to do that I actually should have thought of a little sooner because it's getting a little dark, and it's a little cold out, but it's all good. I'm gonna go over the hill. I got that old, well, I got a couple old trucks over there. I'm gonna go over the hill and I'm gonna try and yank the brake pedal assembly out of one of them, and then I think I can clean it up and maybe adapt it to fit this, and that'll just save me some engineering with the pivot and all that kind of stuff. But I know my little Chevy there, that's what I did. It's got that in it. and it's worked good for all these years. So we'll get on. Like I said before, it's too dark here, and it makes it hard. But we'll see what we can dig out of there. All right, I got it. It was a bit of a hassle, kind of cold out, kind of just awkward, but here we go. So what I opted to do is just get the pedal here. So you got your nice little pivot with the bushing and everything. We'll make that baby work. So a little bit of headache, minor flesh wound, but we're good. So what I've decided to do is the mount for it, because the way that one was, I didn't really like how it mounted the firewall and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and make one. I'm going to make one that this thing can, just some framework that this can pivot off of. I don't need a clutch, don't need anything. That was a clutch truck as well, but this will work good. And I'll tune it up. I'll show you guys here. I'll cut that off, make a nice pedal and stuff. But the important part is this nice sturdy lever. We'll clean it up, make it look good. And this fella here, this pivot, and we'll make a nice bracket. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use those, you guys seen them, the little button heads. Yeah, similar to that. But the button heads, I got some bigger ones. I'll use that to mount, so then it looks good on the firewall. So that's the plan for that. And for the mount and for the master cylinder as well. So that'll look good once it's all mounted there. So, but I think that's all. That's all I got for tonight. I'll be back out here and hopefully be putting that pedal, build a little bracket quick and put that pedal in, get everything mounted there. And I do have to make a hole for the throttle cable and just a few other things. Oh, I got to deal with that heater too, probably now. Decide what I'm going to do to get that heater through the firewall there. Because it's nice to have a little heater. It's nice to have a heater, I find anyway. So it takes the frost off when you're driving in the fall and stuff. So we'll get that heater in there hopefully, and then we can get the firewall cleaned up and hopefully get this mounted for good, this body. So, but anyways, see you guys tomorrow after work. All right, everyone, welcome back. Back out here. Got home from work. We're back to work on this brake system. So I showed you guys yesterday we got this dug out of that old truck, and I just did a little bit of measuring and stuff. But a little chunk of flat bar here. We'll go ahead and start making this into. We'll cut this into some pieces, and we're going to make a bracket for this thing to mount to. Now the plan is to make this bracket so that the master cylinder will mount to it as well. That way, everything's pinched between the firewall and that bracket, so that it's nice and rigid. So that's the plan. We'll cut some of that. Okay, so what I got here is I got a few pieces cut out. This one I did, I went ahead and clamped these together, drilled a hole. And this little spacer here, I just happen to have on my shelf. I just ground it a little smooth and stuff, but that's just to give me the space for the rod, right? And then, so basically now, let's see if I can set these up. These are gonna get welded to there somewhere, kind of like that. I have to space them, make them right. And they'll get welded like that. And then there'll be braces down to there. And then this will bolt to the firewall. And the master cylinder will bolt through the firewall into here, because I'll keep this width nice so I can get it bolted into this as well. And that whole thing will be nice and rigid. But yeah, so I just got to decide my width here and where I want it. I think I'm going to offset it like this, kind of. Somewhere like that. So a couple of the bolts will be inside and a couple will be outside. That way I get this gap in the middle for the rod to go through. And then we're ready to roll. So I just got to make sure I line this up real good. I'll get it tacked up. I'm just going to measure the width of the bolt holes on the master cylinder, and that'll decide my width. Something like that. So I think we're pretty close to width there, but maybe a little farther apart, but all right, so this is what I've decided to do. I rigged it up like that. So that's the space I want between, and I'll mash them together. I do have to, this one's squared up. This one I have to just loosen it later and just make sure it's squared up. But I'm gonna go ahead and tack this baby here because I like where it is. And I got it measured so that the rod is center, and that way it can push in the center of the master cylinder. So But yeah, I'll tack that one up, make sure this one's good. We'll tack it, and then we'll then when I'm happy with it, we can go ahead and just smash it all together and put some bracing on it. And it's going to get capped on the top because I have to make a little, a stopper for the pedal to hit and stuff, and for the brake switch, stuff like that. But get the initial structure, and we'll get some holes drilled, get everything so it's mountable, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, all right, so yeah, got it tacked. I'll go ahead and double check everything. I'll go ahead and put a cap on it right away, tack a cap on. That way it can't flex on me when I take this out, and then we should be in business. All right, you can see I got the top tacked, and that's the idea, right? So now you can see, maybe you can see, but you can see the pedal run. Boom, boom, boom. And then we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna brace it down on both sides, weld it all up, get some holes drilled, nicely, and and then I'll show you. Maybe I'll show you. Yeah, there. Then this little fella, he's gonna mount something like that, and then they see how he'll mount to through those plates as well. So it'll all be sandwiched. The firewall, everything will be all sandwiched between these heavy plates, and should be good and strong. So that's the plan. And well, now we talked about it. Now we just got to do it. So I like how this looks so far. I'll just do a couple more measurements, and maybe I'll tack it up just a little bit better, and we'll get some braces and stuff, and then we'll see what we've got. All right, look at that. There, we got it. That's I like it. It's braced up. Got the pivot in there. It's gonna move nice. Oh, the bolt's loose right now. That'll tighten up just a little bit more, but still gonna pivot good. Yeah, we're good. I'll weld something on to put a stop so that that pedal has a nice little rubber bump or something. But I also need a little bracket to put the brake switch so that when you press it, the switch. So I got to do that, but I did go hold it up in there kind of, and I've decided that I want to, the top holes, I'll put at the, kind of the toppest, is that a word? But yeah, I'll put them at the toppest of here, and the distance, and we'll be good, and then we'll match that at the bottom. That way, when you look at there'll be button heads bolts here, but when you look at them, they'll just be even. They're going to be one about here, and here, here, and here, something like that. So that's the plan anyways. So let's, I'm going to go ahead and drill these, and the top ones, and then I'll match the bottom. The bottom can be anywhere. I'll just put them at the bottomest, and we should be good. And then I'll mark out based off of where the shaft is going to be for the rod. I'll mark out where I want the master cylinder to go. So, all right, let's get after it. All right, just to update you guys, because I didn't film it, I just drilling holes and stuff. So you can see I got all the holes punched into there now. So that'll bolt And I did tap them because then I can bolt them from this side. But you know what I mean. Just bolt. What I'll do is I'll do them tight, and then I'll put a nut on anyways, and that'll kind of double jam it. But anyways, and then you can see these guys, the two in the middle there. Let me get this guy. That's where this'll. That's where that'll go. And I did the same thing. I tapped them, and once I bolt everything up, I'll just put nuts behind to act like you know, to act like a lock. It'll lock it up, and then just these are kind of more just so it's easy to bolt it up tight. That's pretty good, anyways. That's a 1/4 inch, so that's probably lots of thread. But anyways, nevertheless, I'll jam some nuts on back when it's time to mount it permanently. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this up inside the car. It's gonna be a little fussy doing that from the inside. I'll get it up where I want it and mark out some holes and then drill them, and then we can get this thing kind of mounted. See what it looks like. I think it. I like how it turned out. I think it's gonna be great. I just need to get it done for the firewall portion of this, because modifying this later with the stop and all that, I can do that later. That's easy enough later, because I can take it out now, right? I can take it out and do it on the bench, whatever I got to do. So anyways, right now, let's get it up in that car, mark some holes, and get this thing mounted. Okay, I went ahead and got that. I got that sucker kind of mounted to show you quick. It's not done. I'm just out of time for the evening. I'll have to get back out here after work tomorrow, but I want to show you just roughly, but I don't want to show you the finish till I actually make it nice. So I'll just show you. So there you go. Kind of how it's going to sit right there. And then I'll show you guys the inside a bit. Maybe I'll get my light so you can kind of see the pedal there. I'll make a nice pedal so it doesn't look yucky, but anyways, that's the idea. I'll be out here after work tomorrow, and I'll get this baby mounted up for good. And I'll even put the nice hardware, and then we'll kind of see what it looks like with it mounted nice. So see you guys tomorrow after work. Okay, everyone, I'm back out here. I've been slaving away. I just want to catch you guys up. So I did go ahead and, like I said, I threw the nice hardware in so you can kind of see what that looks like. The firewall is going to get painted a different color, but anyways, that's what it's going to look like. I did mark out these two little holes here. You're probably all thinking, why did you fill 8,000 holes just to put 8,000 more? Well, I'm not. I'm just those ones for the brakes. And then these two here, these little fellas here, are going to be for the heater. I do want to put it, I think I mentioned that already. I want to put the little heat, two reasons. I want to put the little heater in because it's nice to have defrost, nice to, you know, out, you know, where I live, you don't drive them in the winter, but you definitely drive them when it's cool out and stuff, and it's nice to take the edge off, little defrost, whatever. So I also like the look of these old things. I think they look real good. I do have to bust this apart and put a 12-volt fan in and make sure that little heater core is good. Pressure test it and stuff, make sure it's good. And clean this up a little bit, make it look nice, and we'll put it in. Because like I said, handy, and you know, they're super retro, they look real cool. BF Goodrich. I thought they just made tires. Yeah. Oh, and then the last. So now what I'm doing quick, because I'm gonna keep the drilling to a minimum. I have to find a place to mount. I want to mount this ECU under there, and my little wiring harness fuse panel. So the plan is to, on the inside, I'm gonna make a little plate. Well, however I got to do it, but I was kind of looking for that ECU. I think I have a plan for it. I'm gonna make a little plate that I'll weld to the inside of the firewall. And then we'll clean it up again, and then we can paint that, and then you won't see it. And then I'll be able to mount to there. I'll have something to bolt to for there for both those items. So that's the plan now. I do have a plan for the ECU. It's harder than you think to try and find space under there. That's why I made sure to mark out the heater, because I don't want to get in the way of that. I can't get in the way of my the air conditioner. Can't get in the way of that. What else is under there? Now the brake, I can show you guys that, maybe. The brake system there. So that's what that looks like. Nice and solid. That'll be good. The rod's not hooked up yet. Not to the to there. So we got that. And then I got the air conditioner ducts, or sorry, the defrost ducts. Don't want to get in the way of them as well. And then of course you got to have room for both those. So it gets cramped under there pretty quick. And I'd like to have some sort of little glove box or something you know, it's nice to have something to fill that hole, somewhere to put your insurance card and your, I don't know, your wallet or something. So anyways, that's the plan. Get these two babies kind of mounted, and then we'll pull that body off and clean that firewall up, paint it, get it nice for good. And then yeah, hopefully we can get the body on the car for good as well. So let's, so my plan is, I'm going to make a little, I've done it kind of before. Make like a basket out of metal that kind of pinches it, and then I put some, you know, foam in there to, you know, to insulate it a bit, and then it just kind of, wherever you put it, it just kind of holds it, you know, assuming, like pretending my hand is that basket, you like, and then it just holds it wherever, you know, wherever you need it. So that's the plan with that. This guy just bolts to something. The wires will, you know, tip out the edge, so it just bolts to something. So that I just, you know, some simple little offset tab that I can tack to the firewall should handle that, no problem. So anyways, let's get after it. I have a plan for this. So we'll measure up some metal, get some stuff bent, and we'll be in business. All right, so let me show you what I got going on here. So this is what I got, this little fella right here. That's a red pen. Don't worry about that. That little wound back. Anyways, so I built a little cap like that, kind of welded it together and stuff, stitched there. And what's going to happen is, see if I can do this. The ECU, I got some foamy stuff, and it'll stick in there. And trust me, it goes. Here, let me see if I can set this up, and I'll just show you guys here. So basically, it just, and then tight is good, right? So it'll end up like that. Just get it a little. So that's essentially what we got, little bracket. Now this is going to go up in there, and I'm going to weld this backside to the firewall, and then it'll just be a pouch that you can just shove your ECU into to hold it, and then it'll be nice and sturdy. I think I'm going to go ahead and just make a little gussets that go down, just some teeny tiny ones, just to support it a little bit better, but I'm sure it'll be just fine. So that's the plan. It's tight up under that firewall, so I'll try. Well, I'll show you guys after for sure, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to show you how I go ahead and while I'm doing it. It's just tight there, but it's all good. But I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys once it's up in there. Okay, let me show you guys what I did before I pack it in for the night. So you can see here, just those are the spots where I kind of welded on the inside. No problem at all. I primed that just to protect it from rust and whatever. But so you can see here, maybe you can see, maybe you can't, but yeah. So there we got that ECU, and that baby is rigid, plenty rigid. And then I got, oh, my light. Got this guy here, and that's just so I can bolt that fuse panel to that without mucking with the firewall, right? So that'll work good. Just spaces it out, and I think that's about it. So because the everything else pretty much is gonna, you know, probably just bolt like the gas pedal. Well, that's it. I think pretty much the gas pedal. I have another little fuse panel for the engine harness, but this is a nice little brace. Nice little brace along here that I think I'm going to utilize and put it there. So yeah, so I think we're about ready to lift this body off again and take care of that firewall so that we can get this baby on. Okay, everyone. So yeah, I came back out here after work today, but got out here a little later. Some stuff came up, did some stuff, and got distracted and whatnot. So what I ended up doing was just coming out here and tidying up, getting ready to move on. But unfortunately, that's all I got for this video. I was short some stuff as well to finish up the things I wanted to do, but that's okay. Pretty happy to get done what I've done, and like I said, it's nice to get all tidied up. That's it for now. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and see you guys next time. We'll be back in this car probably. Hopefully getting it done. See you guys.